Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about the revolutionaries and Reverie. What do I mean by that? So, as of chapter 1056, we know that uh, the revolutionaries have come back. Everyone who's been to Reverie, that means Limber, Karsu, Morley, and also maybe Bello Betty, if I remember correctly. Anyways, the revolutionaries that were at Reverie are now back. And back in Kamabaka Island, they have rescued Kuma, but Sabo is nowhere to be found. So this brought up a lot of questions. Questions about Dragon's connection with Cobra, what actually happened to Kuma and how is he functioning, and the most basic question that anyone would ask, what happened to Sabo? I'm gonna address in this video the events that might have occurred in Reverie according to to a timeline that I thought about while taking into account every single thing that happened in Reverie. Now, for those of you who don't know, let's sum up Reverie a little bit. Reverie was in way back in chapter 900. I think it was from 3 to 9, 3 or 3 to 8. It was very short. A lot of things happened. Everyone of the kings gathered. Every one of the kings that are allied with the Marines gathered in Marizhua for a roundtable discussion of the Reverie. Everyone was there, and we also need to have some sort of news. The revolutionaries were infiltrating the base, the Holy Land of Marizhua, that is said to be impenetrable. They've managed to infiltrate that. Their goal was to declare war on the world government and rescue Kuma. We also saw a bunch of other characters that get into conflict. Shanks arriving at Marizhua talking with the five elders, Bonnie trying to rescue Kuma, and then, post-Reverie, we get to hear that Cobra is dead, Vivi has escaped, or is missing, is a better term. The revolutionaries also got into a fight with the world government, and apparently Sabo killed King Cobra. That is what we all know. Now, let's analyze the situation. From the last time we saw the revolutionaries together, it was when they were planning. Morley created an underground base. They were discussing of how to get Kuma back and declare war on the world government. From what the news says, or from what we know, the revolutionaries definitely clashed with the Marines, especially Fujitora and Green Bull, which means they definitely made a move. They made a move, and some of the celestial dragons are damaged. Maybe someone was killed. If I cannot recall properly, but stuff happened, and from that we know that they've had a clash. They've managed to rescue Kuma, but they had to do a little bit of fighting. All is said and done, but there was a point where Sabo and the others had to get separated. Now, from what I can gather, there is no way that, you know, another thing that, so, the thing about accountability. Let's talk about accountability for a while. The news says Sabo killed Cobra. Now, big news Morgans, can come up with very clever titles, and the world government definitely has their propaganda. Propaganda where they could basically blame their enemy for the murder of a kingdom, for a murder of a king, where they could have done it themselves. There is no way to valid. There's no way to sort of say in a confirmed manner that Sabo killed Cobra, which basically means that the revolutionaries that were there got separated with Sabo before Cobra was killed. Otherwise, they could have come to Dragon, and Dragon wouldn't be so pissed off and would be eager to trust Sabo because, your commander said Sabo didn't do shit, so he didn't do shit. So with all that being said and done, what could have happened is the fact that they wanted to go and rescue Kuma, so they did. They came across celestial dragons, so they attacked them. They declared war on the celestial dragons. The Marines showed up that were there, Fujitora and Green Bull to be specific. they've had a clash with them in one way or other. Kuma and the other evolutionary armies, aside from SABO, got separated, and that's when the murder happened. And in hindsight, what could have happened is that the Marines, or not the Marines, the world government could have used their assassins in order to clear off Cobra and Vivi, but Sabo managed to save Vivi, maybe, and Cobra, by accident, was killed. Now, why do I think that the world government would be willing to kill Cobra? Very simple. He was one of the Nefertari family is one of the families that forsaken the land of Marija when the 20 Kingdom was making the world government. And among the 20 kingdoms, Nefertari family was one of them that stayed in the lower realm rather than coming up. Which means Cobra knows a lot about the world. Cobra has a lot of access to information, a lot of family background that can help him solve the Void Century. He knows a lot about the world and its true nature that the Marines would want to hide. Now, we remember correctly that Imusama was supposed to do a great cleansing, and the Gorosei was supposed to execute it. And among which we found that Vivi is one of her targets. I'm gonna say she because she looks like a she. Imusama's target was Vivi, and at the same time, I cannot help but realize that while the Gorosei were discussing about, the Reverie and everything, they said something about King Cobra figuring stuff out, which means he's a potentially dangerous man for the world government. And Oda wouldn't do something like drop a bombshell and not have something to relate with it. He does a lot of foreshadowing. And from Oda's storytelling and his manga so far that I've read, it's always, when one thing happens, it always has some sort of a build up to it, and that build up is possibly the reason why it happened. So I've been speculating for a while now that, okay, Vivi is going to be targeted in Marija 100%, since Shirahoshi is still alive and well, because they made it to Fishman Island by the time Reverie ended. This means Im-sama didn't have a chance or didn't want to involve the Fishman Island now. But he had other targets. Other targets, one of them being Luffy, one of them being Blackbeard, and another of them being Vivi. So he definitely went after Vivi. The world government went after Vivi, which is suggested on the fact that King Cobra has something to do with it, and they went after Luffy because they sent CP0 to basically eliminate Straw Hat Luffy because of his fruit. With all that being said and done, what could have happened is, what I said before. They decided to target Vivi, and so they did. But they were unsuccessful. Now, how do I know Vivi is alive? Because it was never reported. The world government prints fake news, but not so fake as to the point where there is no verification. With the revolutionaries being on charge, it's a good idea to blame it on them, since the masses of the world don't even care about the revolutionaries. They're sided with the Marines because they protect them from pirates. For the people allied with the revolutionaries would definitely have something to do with it, because they trust SABO, they trust Dragon, and this is a huge hindrance. And in my opinion, it's not SABO who did it. SABO cannot have a reason to kill King Cobra, because from Dragon's looks of it, him and King Cobra were somehow acquainted, or Dragon knows he's a good king and there is no reason to kill him, and SABO just betrayed his orders, or something definitely went wrong. Now that Sabo's on the call, we'll get some sort of an answer in the near future. But as to speculation, Sabo got separated, and I'm 100% sure that Sabo is with Vivi, and we're about to see some sort of a storyline plot out from there. And I think it's about time we get to see Vivi on the Straw Hats. It's been too damn long. That is it for, my analysis on what could have happened. As for Kuma, though, it seems as though he's not back to normal. I thought there would be some sort of a way to bring him back, but there isn't. Maybe Limber can come up with something like that. and it brings up questions about Dr. Vegapunk, which will be discussed in a future video. As for now, what I want to end on is that there is definitely something going wrong with the trust issue. There's something definitely going on with the revolutionaries, especially with Dragon's trust on Sabo. Because even though Sabo is literally the vice captain or the first in command, second in command of the revolutionaries, Dragon can't seem to trust Sabo, and this is not looking good. So I say wait. And I'm definitely sure that the Marines tried to pull something, the world government definitely tried to pull something here, and there will be evidence to it in the near future. But that is what could happen in Reverie with the revolutionaries. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. Say what you want to say about, the whole thing. And bring your own takes. This is it from me now. See you next time. Peace.